Hey warriors, the sun rises and a new day begins. Before you touch your phone, before the world tells you who to be, you have a choice. A sacred moment when your mind is still yours. Possibility lives in silence, and the person you want to become waits for you to speak. Words are not just sounds. They are seeds in the soil of your mind. They are architects that build the house you live in. They are the compass that guides your life. The ancient Stoics knew this truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. The battle for a meaningful life is won or lost in the theater of the mind." Most people surrender at dawn. They grab their phones and let fear speak through headlines, comparison through social media, and worry through the replay of yesterday. They give away their morning, their day, their life. But you are different. You are here because something in you refuses to accept that what if the words you speak to yourself each morning are the foundation of your day? What if rewiring your mind is not complex, but simple? 5 words spoken with intention and belief can reshape how you see yourself. Science agrees. Neuroplasticity shows that repeated thoughts create pathways, and your mind reshapes itself according to what you feed it. The first words you speak are the first meal of your consciousness. Make them powerful. Make them count. Today, you receive 5 words. They are not magic, but if you repeat them with belief, they will change you. They will rebuild patterns. They will form a calmer, stronger, more purposeful you. Your mind is listening now, ready to be rewired, reprogrammed, redirected. What will you tell it? Will you repeat the same stories of limitation? Or will you speak to yourself like someone who deserves greatness, who understands that the morning is sacred territory? This is where we begin. My words create my reality. Word 1. I choose my response. Life will hit you. That is certain. The question is, who decides what the hit will mean? Each morning you say, I choose my response, and you claim the one power no one can take from you. The space between what happens and what you do. Viktor Frankl spoke of this truth between stimulus and response. There is a space, and in that space is our freedom. Your phone buzzes and plans change. Your body aches. An old pain wakes up someone you love, makes a choice that hurts them. A dream meets a wall. In that moment, you stand at a crossroads. Most people fall into reaction. They collapse into helplessness. But when you say, I choose my response, you are training yourself to take the other path. You remember, you are not a leaf in the wind. You are a human with choice and power. Epictetus taught that some things are within our power and most things are not. Judgments, intentions, and responses are yours. The weather, the past, and other people are not. When you waste energy trying to control what you cannot, you weaken yourself. When you focus energy on what you can, you become unstoppable. Practice this each morning before you touch your phone. Breathe and say, I choose my response slowly with conviction. Then when life tests you, pause, remember, and respond instead of reacting. This is not about suppressing emotion. It is about mastering the moment between event and action. Repetition rewires the brain each time you say it. You build new neural paths over time. Choosing becomes your nature. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but faced conspiracies, plagues, and war. He chose wisdom, patience, and virtue. He wrote, You have power over your mind. Not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Say it every morning. I choose my response. Feel the freedom in those words. You are not helpless. You are not a victim. You are someone who chooses. This is the beginning of mastery. Word 2. Growth lives here. Pain is not your enemy. Discomfort is not failure. When you feel stretched beyond what feels safe, growth is knocking at your door. Say growth lives here, and claim the power to turn challenge into transformation. The Stoics called it love of fate. Seneca said, Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor strengthens the body. We do not grow in comfort. We grow in the friction between who we are and who we are becoming. Most people run from discomfort. They choose what is easy, but comfort is where potential goes to sleep. You are training your brain to see challenge differently. The anxiety before something new is not weakness. It is your old self making room for your new self. Frustration is not failure. It is depth being added to your soul. Exhaustion is not breaking down. It is breaking through. Imagine you sit to learn a skill. Your hands move clumsily. Your mind resists. The discomfort rises. But you remember growth lives here. You breathe. You stay. You grow. Maybe it is emotional. A conversation. You fear a boundary. You must set. Your heart races. Your body tells you to retreat. But you whisper, growth lives here, and you step forward. Anyway, Epictetus was born into slavery, yet found freedom in the only place no chains could reach his mind. Taught that it is not what happens, but how you respond that matters. This is not blind positivity. Pain, loss, grief, and injustice are real. But even there, you can choose to emerge better, not bitter. You can let suffering deepen you, not define you. Say it every morning. Growth lives here when things are easy, when they are impossible, when you are full, when you are tired. Repeat it until your mind learns that discomfort is proof of progress, because on the other side of fear lives the version of you were meant to become. Word 3. Today matters most. Yesterday is a ghost. Tomorrow is a promise no one can guarantee. Today is the only canvas where life can be painted. Say today matters most, and pull your mind out of regret and worry. The Stoics taught that power exists only in the present. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the moment, because now is where your control lives." You waste hours replaying old mistakes and inventing future fears, while the real day slips away. You split attention between past and future and operate at half strength. When you say, today matters most, you anchor yourself in what is real, not in memory, not in imagination. This is not denial, it is precision. You cannot change what was. You cannot predict what will be. You can only live what is imagined, waking with your mind racing through tasks and deadlines, the mountain of obligations crushing you before you rise. Anxiety floods because your brain is trying to solve a week at once. Pause and speak. Today matters. Most feel the shift in awareness. Focus on what this moment needs. A drink of water, a stretch, a deep breath. The future will arrive, one present at a time. Maybe your prison is the past. Shame and regret follow you everywhere. You cannot forgive yourself for who you were, but the person you were did the best they could with what they knew. Today is where redemption lives. Not in rewriting yesterday, but in writing today differently. Seneca said, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Each sunrise is a rebirth, each night a completion." When you stop trading your present joy for a future achievement, you become more effective, more alive. Stop bleeding energy into ghosts and invest it into this breath, this conversation, this action. Say it each morning. Today matters most. Let those words pull you into now and remind you that this unrepeatable collection of hours is your life. Not someday, not back then. Now is everything. Word 4. I am enough. You have carried a lie for so long that it feels like truth. The lie that says you must be more to deserve peace, that you must fix yourself to deserve love. It ends now when you say, I am enough. You are not claiming perfection. You are claiming wholeness. Your worth is not measured by productivity or approval. The Stoics knew that value is already inside. Epictetus said, "He is wise who does not grieve for what he has not, but rejoices in what he has." The world trains you to feel insufficient. Every advertisement whispers that you are incomplete. Every scroll tells you that others know something you lack. The finish line keeps moving and you keep chasing. But what if you stop running? What if you stand still and ask, who decided that I am not enough? You never agreed to that. It was programmed into you slowly when you say I am enough. You are deprogramming the world, taught you doubt, but truth still lives inside you. No child questions their worth. That knowing remains under the dust of years. When you remember it, you stop performing for approval. You stop twisting yourself into shapes that please others. You make choices from values, not validation. You say no without guilt, and yes without needing permission. Someone questions your choices, and you no longer spiral. You remember, I am enough. Their opinion is only an echo, not a verdict. Sometimes the voice of not enough comes from within the mirror, magnifies flaws. The mind counts. What is missing? The critic speaks loudly, but you answer, I hear you, and I no longer serve you. Your worth is not up for debate. Even the great Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of his limits, not to shrink, but to be free. He wrote, very little is needed for a happy life. It is all within yourself. Everything you need to be whole is already inside. Repeat it every morning, even when it feels false. I am enough not to convince, but to remember you are complete. You are whole. You are enough. Word 5. I release control. Your hands are tired from gripping too tightly. Your mind is exhausted from trying to script outcomes you cannot command. When you say, I release control, you are not surrendering to chaos. You are surrendering to reality. The Stoics built everything on this truth. There is what you control, and there is everything else. And everything else is almost everything. Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. That is real power, knowing where influence ends and acceptance begins. Think of what you have been trying to control: other people, their opinions, their timing, their decisions, the pace of your progress, the behavior of strangers. None of it is truly yours, and yet you spend so much energy on it. The illusion of control feels safe if you plan perfectly. Maybe nothing bad will happen, but life does not work that way. The tighter you hold, the more slips away. When you say, I release control each morning, you practice one of the hardest and most freeing acts a human can learn. You train your mind to separate influence from control. You can influence your effort, your attitude, your integrity, your presence. But after that, you must let go. Not faith that everything will work your way, but trust that you will be okay either way. Picture this. You love someone making painful choices. You have said all you can. You have shown up yet. They keep walking their path. Your heart aches to save them, but you cannot. And when you whisper, I release control, something shifts not in their world, but in yours. You still love them, but you stop carrying what is not yours to carry. Or maybe you fight time itself. You think you should be further ahead. Life had detours and closed doors. You feel angry at the timeline, but you breathe. I release control, Seneca said. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Your job is preparation, not timing. Marcus Aurelius faced war and plague, yet focused on his mind, his character, his response. He wrote, you always own the option of having no opinion. Never trouble your soul about things you cannot control. When you release control, your shoulders drop, your breath deepens. This is not giving up. It is giving over you. Become someone who influences what they can and accepts what they cannot. In that acceptance, you find peace. Repeat it. I release control. Trust life enough to stop fighting it. 5 words, 5 keys, 5 pillars of a rewired mind. I choose my response. Growth lives here today matters most. I am enough. I release control. These are not just words. They are the architecture of a stronger, calmer self. The Stoics forged these truths, not in comfort, but in chaos, exile, slavery, and war. They left a map for us, not because they had all the answers, but because they faced the same questions. How do I find peace in chaos? How do I grow through pain? How do I live fully in a world I cannot control? You rebuild your mind one morning, one word, one choice at a time. Some days you forget. Some days old patterns pull you back. That is not failure. That is being human. Perfection is not the goal. Commitment is wake each day and speak to yourself as someone worthy of a beautiful inner life. Because you are these 5 words. Wait for you every morning. They will not work without you. But if you show up, if you speak them with belief, they will change you. Not overnight, but undeniably. Your mind is listening. What will you tell it tomorrow? If this message moves you, share it with someone who needs to remember their power and whisper to yourself one more time, I am the architect of my mind.